Hello. I'm going to read from the first letter of John, chapter 2, verse 6. It reads, "He who says he abides in him ought himself also to walk just as he walked." Walking as Jesus walked. You can't just talk the talk, you also got to walk the walk. This statement about authenticity is true in every area of life, but none more than in our spiritual lives. What does it mean to walk just as he walked? Some of us might think it means performing miracles, and to that we may say, well, I don't think that's going to happen, and probably not. But that's not what John is talking about. The hallmarks of the Christian experience, John says in verse 5, are obedience and love. How did Jesus walk in obedience? From childhood, he dedicated himself to the Father's will. And when Jesus might have been tempted to stay where he was more popular, he said, "No, I have to go where my Father has sent me." And when he was criticized and condemned for following God, he didn't flinch. He stayed true to the Father's purpose for him. When Satan offered him the whole world, he said no. Nothing could keep him from following the narrow path of doing what pleased the Father. How did Jesus walk in love? To the amazement and often the dismay of his closest friends. See, Jesus reached out to people at the bottom of the barrel over and over again. He didn't care what others thought of him. He loved the prostitutes, the lepers, the blind, the paralyzed, the sick, the tax gatherers, the foreigners, and all the other outcasts of society. And of course, he loved everybody else as well. See, when we walk as Jesus walked, our hearts are increasingly riveted on God's purposes instead of on our selfish desires and self-protection. And we reach out to care for the people no one else even notices. If we truly know Christ, he changes our hearts. And his love will overflow us from us to touch others. What do you need to do to align your life more completely with God's purpose for you? And who are some people no one else notices who needs your love? Charles Sheldon said, "What would Jesus do?" No, brothers and sisters. In the matter that you're standing in right now, what would Jesus do? Stay fearless, brothers and sisters.